Welcome to Synagogues of Ohio, Part 12. We start out in the city of Solon, which is a suburb of Cleveland and has about 23,000 residents. And this is a look at the Chabad Jewish Center of Solon. Rabbi Zusha Greenberg is its director. Besides regular Shabbat services, it also has a daily morning minyan, as well as a Hebrew school that does not require membership in the Chabad group. In fact, the majority of its students are those who come from conservative and reform families. We shift over to Springfield with a population of more than 59,000, and we're looking at Temple Shalom. Its Shabbat services are held on Friday evenings. The congregation started out in the 1850s with the name of Oheb Tzedakah. It officially joined the Reform movement in the 1870s. It moved about to a couple locations, and by 1924, its name was changed to reflect that, calling it the Fountain Avenue Temple, and in the 1930s to its current name of Temple Shalom. Kerry Kosberg is the rabbi, which takes us to Steubenville, Ohio, and a synagogue building that once was. Temple Beth Israel no longer functions as a congregation. The building had been here since 1966, but in June of 2013, the congregation closed down. At its demise, there were about 35 members, some Reform and some Conservative. In the 1950s, Steubenville had about 300 Jewish families, and the mix of practices reflected the fact that for many years there were two congregations, the Reform Temple Bethel and the Conservative B'nai Israel, and by 1980 the two congregations merged as one. And then there's Sylvania, which is a suburb of Toledo and has about 19,000 residents. Home to Temple congregation Shomer Emunim, and in English this means keeper of the faiths, and that is in the plural for a reason. Samuel Weinstein is the rabbi, and services for Shabbat are on Friday evenings. This congregation was formed in 1870, disbanded, but then re-emerged in 1875, affiliating with the Reform movement. The building shown here was constructed in 1973. We mentioned the plural use of the word faiths. On one side, the congregation is next to a church. It's also on another side next to a building that houses both the Jewish Community Center and a YMCA, and it is down the block from a conservative synagogue. We mentioned that we were in a suburb of Toledo. Now let's move into Toledo proper, and we're looking at the Chabad of Toledo. By the way, Toledo itself has about 278,000 residents. Rabbi Yossi Shem Tov is the director of this branch. It moved not too long ago to this location. Our next stop in Toledo is Eitz Chaim, an Orthodox shul. It was established from the merger of three other synagogues. Evan Rubin is its current rabbi, and it has services on a daily basis both morning and evening. It also houses a community mikveh. Our final stop is Congregation B'nai Israel, a conservative synagogue, and as we said, it's down the block from Shomer Emunim, which is to the right of it. This congregation has services on a daily basis except for Sunday when the religious school is not in session. It does not have a rabbi, but rather utilizes a cantor to lead the services. The congregation goes all the way back to the 1860s, and it moved to this site in 2007. We conclude this trip, but there are still several other synagogues in the state of Ohio to check out. Bye for now and see you soon.